Good day, global cryptocurrency enthusiasts. This is 88 Fantastic coming to you Tuesday, August 20th, 2019. So where are we sitting at today? Back where we love to be, bringing you some crazy new articles in this market. No more reviews. We're done faucet videos just for a little bit here. We'll keep going on those later on. And where do we see the price of Bitcoin on our intraday? A day low of 10,307 and a day high of 10,951. We're going to look at our market overview and where we're sitting in our market. So here's our last 30 days right now of our total global cryptocurrency market. And as you can see, we peaked there, probably about a week and a half or so ago. And it's been pretty stale. And then we got stuck in that 265 range for just about a week. And now we're looks like we're getting a little bit of love. And again, what we've always talked about on this channel since January, and what I've personally been saying since pretty much 2017, is that all the pieces of the puzzle, because it really takes between 2 to 2.5, possibly 3 years from an idea to go from your brain to going through all of the legalities and actually become a consumer product. It's not an overnight sensation. These things take quite a long time. And as we can see, and what we've said for the longest time, I still believe that after September long weekend, heading into the middle of September, that's when we should really start to see some sideways up action forever, basically. I've always said for September long weekend, for the next 3 years, we should see steady sideways up. Every pullback should be met with some solid resistance, and every line of the lines of support should get stronger and stronger. We just need to get away out of August, get through September long weekend. And why do I keep saying that? It's because it's just the way the world works. It's summer sell-off. Nobody's buying in the summer because everybody is spending what they've been able to save for 9-10 months in order to treat themselves, treat their families, get away from work, get out of the house. And that's the honest to God truth. If you've run a business, you know summertime is generally pretty bad. That's why everyone's taking their holidays. So I firmly believe that's why I always said the middle of September, that should be the end of this absolutely rotten 18, 19, 20 month bear market. And I've said bear market forever, and like we've talked about on the channel, you go back to some of the YouTubers in the middle of June when we got some money in the market, and everybody on their channel, official bull run, Bitcoin's going to 25 grand, and all of that horseshit like that. And what we've always seen is every time some money comes into the market, you see all these guys with their absolutely ridiculous predictions, and then when the money comes back out, you hear all of these so-called expert guys from Elliott Wave talking how Bitcoin's going to drop to 8,300, 7,300 and the whole bit. I was asked on this channel about a month ago to put a bottom price on Bitcoin for July and for August. My prediction holds strong still. We said the bottom for Bitcoin for July and August was going to be 9,200, and the low it hit was 91.94, 91.96. Like I was $4 to $6 off, whereas everybody else was calling for a slide back to 85, 83, 75, 73. And again, the charts are close, but they're not accurate. And a chart is one thing and one thing or only. Those are completed order blocks. So when people understand how to read order blocks properly, they'll become a little more accurate than what they've been doing here so far. So now we're going to look at the market here. We see Bitcoin sitting at 10,743, and we got 5 bizarre articles for you guys. So where are we sitting here right now? We see a trading volume of just under 50 million per 24 hours, which isn't too bad. We see the market sitting at 277, which is a little healthier than last week. As we said last week, we were really stuck in that, that 264, 266 range, and it was completely, the market's been stale for almost a month now. We still see Bitcoin's dominance sitting at 69.3%. So for new people on the channel, I thank you for stopping in, taking time out of your busy day to come and listen to me jibber jabber on here. And we've said for months on end in this market, and it's going to lead into a couple of these articles too. In 2017, I do apologize because I have to explain this because we've had a lot of new people come onto the channel lately. In 2017, everyone said, everybody, including taxi cab drivers, were fucking buying into Bitcoin. Those people are fucking morons. We still see the vast majority of this entire planet still has no idea what Bitcoin is, and even less people know what a cryptocurrency is. So when we cycled out all of the dummies in early 2018 that bought every coin imaginable at their all-time highs because they watched some guy on YouTube say the word white paper and they bought into it, and they got cycled out and speed bagged in May and June of 2018. And then what did that do? Is that brought in a little bit better investors for late 2018 and 19, and we've seen what my wish personally was to cycle out the toxic people in social media, through Reddit and through Twitter, especially a little bit in Telegram, where all these people think they know what they're talking about. And every person said in May and June that the bear market was over and we were in a bull run. And the amount of rooms I got kicked out of because I said they're fucking idiots and we're still in a bear market is unbelievable. So I've gotten my wish. The round one of dummies were cycled out in May and June of 2018. Round two of the dummies recently cycled out, as we can see in these chat rooms now through Telegram, Twitter, especially in Reddit. The toxicity level has definitely lessened. The amount of people that come in and say they're the all-knowing, and my chart says this, a lot of those people, thank God, have been cycled out of the market. Either that or they're bottomed out and they're just finally starting to shut the fuck up, basically. So sorry for my language, but I mean, when you go in and you try to, when a new guy walks into the space and he asks a very simple question like, how do I do this? And then the response he gets is just alienation and told how dumb they are and stuff like that. You got to remember, new people in the space are new, and most of these people don't even know what a wallet is yet, for Christ's sake. We've got to be able to help new people in this space with basic terminology, because the original people in this space, like the term HODL, H-O-D-L, is as stupid as it gets. When you tell a new person you got to HODL your Bitcoin and they just give you that stupid blank stare, why don't you just tell them you need to hold it? So again, terminology and the very basics is one of those, the languages of cryptocurrency is still what scares brand new people in this space. And we've said in this channel previously, all these new people that are going to be coming in from today in August all the way into 2020, they're not going to know what's going on, and they are going to need some serious help here. So what we're going to do is we'll run through our quick top 100, because it's been a little while since we did a market review. And we're just going to look and see if anybody's actually had any movement over the last 7 days. The last 1 hour to 24 really don't mean anything. Let's see what they've done over the last 7 days. And if anybody is actually, we'll go with our magic number is 1%. If anybody in the top 100 has gained over 1%. So we see the Leo coin at 5.08%. Again, that is something, that coin I personally do not like. I always tell everybody with that one and Bitfinex, that is a buyer beware, enter at your own risk. Plain and simple. Who else here? We got Ethereum Classic at 3%. We got Maker at just about 6%. So that gives us 3 so far. And as we're scaling, and we're still going, we've got Hypercash at almost 31% over the last 7 days. Nice and healthy, good to see. That gives us 4. IOST at 1.42%. IOST is an amazing project. Jimmy Zong and the boys, they have been banging it out in a bear market for who knows how long now, and they continually impress me personally. We got Insight Chain at 4%. We got Icon at 5%. Nash Exchange at 2%, Verge at 13%, but Verge, don't forget, Verge was a top 30 coin for the longest time, and they've just been sliding right out of the market. RIF token at 10.64%, and as we scroll down, we're not AELF at 2.85, Beam. Welcome to the top 100 at 25%, and Synthetics Network at 7.8. So we've really seen maybe 10 coins out of the top 100 that have actually had some love in the market, and 90 coins have absolutely gone ass backwards. All right, so now let's get on to our news articles here. And for new people on the space, I generally try not to read the whole article. I just want to go through some of it. I'll leave it up on here. We'll tell you where you're seeing it at. And that way, if you want to go through the whole article yourself, because how I read it and how you're listening to me may not be the same way that you're going to interpret it if you're reading it yourself, right? So we are over at u.today. The article came from Bloomberg, and it says Libra may get further trouble with launch as U.S. lawmaker group heads for Switzerland. The U.S. lawmakers delegation will be discussed by a delegation of U.S. lawmakers that are paying a visit to Switzerland. Among the issues of the agenda of the U.S. lawmakers delegation that is on its way to Switzerland, there will be the announced launch of Facebook's Libra coin. And it just goes on to, I mean, again, the crypto community itself, I mean, we don't like this. I don't like this. I've always said on my channel, you know what? Just the announcement itself will bring so much extra bonus media coverage and, to the cryptocurrency world. That is the part that I love about it. The part that I absolutely hate about it is the Libra coin is basically, it's been created to make rich companies even wealthier than they are already. In the cryptocurrency world, you and me, we can buy our own nodes. We can contribute into computer security systems. What Facebook went and did, and you'll go and look this for yourself, go and look who they gave all their master nodes to. Visa, PayPal, eBay. Why do they need more money than they already have when you got amazing companies like Dash, Smart Cash, and other companies like that? I mean, there's a whole bunch more where you can actually buy your own node. So there's a lot to this article. Where there's one really good one here I wanted to see. Where was it here? I just wanted to show you guys this. Sorry. Right here. The aforementioned Maxine Water is the chairperson of the U.S. Financial Services Committee. Her attitude towards Libra is skeptical, and which it should be. Every person, no matter who you are, brand new to the space, skepticism should be your number one rule. Whether you're listening to me, somebody that got 100,000 subs, somebody that's got 500,000 subscribers, being skeptical is your best weapon right now. Recently, she drew similarities between Facebook that plans to launch Libra and the companies like Wells Fargo and Equifax. So again, when you look at Wells Fargo, don't even know how they're still having the ability to operate when they've been nailed so many times for ripping off their own customer. I don't understand how you can be a major bank or a bank of any kind when your own government has absolutely punished you for being scammy bastards. Equifax, another one with absolutely terrible security. If you go back to last year, there was over 140 million people where their identity and data was absolutely stolen, all in one crack itself. And again, that leads to something like on crypto exchanges, not your keys, not your crypto. If you're leaving something in one central place, what it is it's a target. That's all it is. That's why you should when you're done day trading, swing trading, long-term investing, when you buy your stuff, get it off the exchange, put it into your wallet. Therefore, you're the boss, you're in charge, and that's the way it should be. So moving along, we're over at newsbtc.com, and this goes back into what we were just talking about in our top 100. Crypto analyst expects 20% Ethereum drop, altcoin capitulation in 2 weeks. Nothing but carnage has been seen across the altcoin market, with major assets like Ethereum and Ripple falling to fresh lows and causing widespread panic across the space. Okay, so this I don't agree with whatsoever. This article just came out a few minutes ago. The fear and the panic across the market, personally, I don't see it. And I haven't seen it. There's multiple major factors on why all of the altcoins have been taking their punishment, and not one of these people on any of these articles has come out and told you people the truth. And that's plain and simple, and that's trading pairs. The vast majority of altcoins are still stuck in a Bitcoin Ethereum trading pair. So if the price of Bitcoin continues to rise, the amount of Satoshis an altcoin needs to represent that lessens, because the value increases. So when Bitcoin increases in price, it takes less Satoshis to equal a $1 amount. Therefore, some of your coins, like we've said this in multiple videos, if you're like me, I've got one or two more that I've got to trade out of. You're going to be stuck. If Bitcoin hits 25,000, don't expect your altcoin to keep up with it, because it's not going to happen. The only one you're going to see where we looked at is possibly seeing more Ethereum trading volume, because as the price of Ethereum goes backwards, the the GUI Satoshi needs to go higher, and you'll see a lot more trading volume. So that would more than the only saving grace that the altcoins have right now, and as gross as it is Bitcoin would have to tank, and Ethereum would also have to tank, or one or the other would have to tank, but at a serious amount. So when somebody says all of this stuff, this is the stuff you got to look at and go, you know what, this is just disgusting window dressing. And if people understood the trading pairs, it would be a lot easier to explain to a lot of people. So I personally said altcoins are on the verge of absolute death. And when we see 2,400 altcoins in the space, and in the top 100 over the last week, and you see 10 coins at over 1%, and everybody else is continuing to be sliding, it's the same thing that we've talked about for the last 7 months. When new people come into the space, the only thing that they know is Bitcoin. If they're lucky, they might have heard of something called Ethereum or XRP, maybe. But anybody that's coming into the space, the only thing that they know is Bitcoin, so their money's going to go into Bitcoin. And as we've seen for the last 3 months, everybody is selling out their altcoins at any possible chance that they're getting, and all of that money is going right back into Bitcoin itself. So that was over at newsbtc.com. Next one is over at livebitcoinnews.com. Research firm suggests $60K price for Bitcoin. Is it possible for Bitcoin to reach $60,000 sometime next year? According to Digital Asset Research, the probability is very, very high. So they just go through this article, and they're still talking about all of this stuff and what they think it could be, the scarcity and all of that. The one thing I had a good laugh at about, right here, Fundstrat analysis Tom Lee has made a serious career out of predicting where Bitcoin will go. While I'm sorry to disagree again with another article, Tom Lee from Fundstrat has been right in the space 0 fucking times in the last 3 years that he's been a part of these predictions on TV and through social media. The guy's never been right. He's never even been close to anything whatsoever. At least a venture capitalist like Tim Draper. Tim is a realist, another really good guy to follow, and at least he gives you an honest opinion of itself. But for what I've always said, when the news comes in, why do these people keep going back to the same people over and over and over when none of these people they've not only not been right, they've never been fucking close. So again, I called the bottom for 9,200 for the 2 months. I was off by $4. Get these idiots over here. Hook me up with something. Let's start doing some interviews so I can come out and start smashing these idiots like Tom Lee, again, who have never been right and will never, ever been right. And these articles like this will lead into one like this right over here. Another case for Bitcoin as billions vanish from savings from accounts in Ghana. This is absolutely disgusting, this article here, and it's over at bitcoinist.com. As many as 70,000 people could be facing financial ruin as a massive crackdown sweep across Ghana's banking system. It serves as yet another stark warning that governments and banks are in full control of people's money. Only decentral assets such as Bitcoin would be immune from such monetary madness. I have said the same thing myself over and over and over again. And a great example, I mean, I'm in North America. I'm up in Canada right now. And if you're in North America listening to this right now, here's just one really good example. So one of your loved ones, best friend, whoever it may be, somebody's on holidays, and say they go to North Vietnam right now, and something happens and they need money. Are you able to go to your bank anywhere in North America and ship money instantly to somebody in North Korea if they were absolutely desperate and they needed some money to get their way back home? The answer is going to be fucking no. You're not, and it's going to be blocked and it's going to be rejected. If anything, and it does go through, you're probably looking at 7 to 10 business days, and you're going to look at fees coming out of your ass, and by the time they actually get it, who knows? Whereas you can take Bitcoin or virtually any other cryptocurrency, and it's there within seconds. Again, one of these things that just needs to be looked after, and it's absolutely terrifying when a bank can shut that down. So we're going to go through some of this article. An estimated 1.6 billion has been wiped out, which is over a third of the assets that private fund managers supervise for retail and institutional investors. Ghana's primary financial regulator, the Securities and Exchange Commission, has has increased pressure on at least 20 fund managers as it suspects of it violating the rules. It's cutting across all financial houses, and when it happens like that, the government needs to step in to rebuild confidence again. There's nothing we can do apart from making sure that we create the necessary environment to regain investors' confidence all over again. The issue Ghana faces is more about having an adequate system and controls in place to ensure that there is no such things to happen. Bitcoin is the solution. The savings of tens of thousands of people wiped out overnight. This is why saving your wealth should be simple and not need a middleman. This is what Bitcoin. This is one of the many things that Bitcoin itself and other cryptocurrencies can definitely help fix these things like this. You just feel really bad when stuff like this happens over here. So we'll get on to our last article over at ccn.com. Trump advisor. Oh my God. Okay, so anyways, not a Trump fan. My personal feelings towards Pompeo and Bolton, easily the two biggest warmongers our planet has ever seen. These guys should have been born in like the BC age, coming out of a cave with some serious, these guys are just nasty, nasty scumbags. When Trump advisor Mike Pompeo addressed crypto regulation during a Tuesday morning interview, he claimed that he didn't want to start a viral moment. However, at least one of his remarks threatened to spark some blowback from Bitcoin investors. Pompeo says anonymous Bitcoin is a national security threat. And again, if you want, you can come over to CCN. They got the live feed over here. Pompeo, President Trump's second Secretary of State, suggested that the so-called anonymous transactions associated with cryptocurrency presented a major risk to national security. To illustrate his point, he invoked the 9/11 terrorist attacks. Pompeo says, look, the risk with anonymous transactions is one that we all know well. We know this from the 9/11 and terror activity that took place in the 15 years preceding that we didn't even have good tracking. We didn't have the capacity to understand money flows and who is moving money. To me, you are a lying sack of shit, and you have no idea what you're talking about, and all this guy and Bolton care about is invading, taking over, asserting pressure, and using military force. Like, it's just absolutely ridiculous. We need to preserve a financial system, a global financial system. Yes, as your country just cracked the $22 trillion in debt, and you're telling everybody else how it should go and how everything else should be regulated, you should really look in the mirror. I hate to say this, but when your country is $22 trillion in debt and trying to nail every other country with tariffs, which are going to come back and bite your own country in the butt, especially your farming and your agriculture, it's just absolutely ridiculous. Pompeo was careful to avoid hot button language. He didn't even reference Bitcoin or crypto directly, but the point was clear. Authorities must have the ability to track Bitcoin payments just as easily as they can track other financial transactions. Otherwise, Bitcoin might just fund the next 9/11. When we all know it was funded by, it's always U.S. money, it's always U.S. dollars. When they come out and say Bitcoin is being used for nefarious activities, you know what? Money, physical money, has been used for every form of illegal activity since the dawn of time. The reason there are new cryptocurrencies is because people find ways to scam things so bad, governments are forced to change the new monetary systems. And as we can see with current fiat, I think it's at 39 years, you might want to double check that, but at 39 years, almost 40 years, fiat is the longest that the world has actually ever seen. So the fact that cryptocurrency is here, it is here to stay. And there's just no other way about it. So anyways, I mean, there's just so much more. The idea that cryptocurrency will fund the next great terror attack continues to gain purchase in regulatory circles and not entirely without merit. This is where it comes down for me for privacy coins. I'm sorry, with Monero and stuff like that, I personally believe there is no room whatsoever for privacy coins. There is no need for privacy coins, and the fact that the crypto world still keeps trying to push privacy coins, there's no need for it. If you need to hide your purchases, you're doing something wrong to begin with. Cryptocurrency and Bitcoin is open source, open tech, open ledger, open for everybody to see, and that open transparency is what brings honesty, and that's the movement that all of us should be getting together. So we haven't got much more for you guys. We just wanted to bring out some articles. Feels good to come back, bring back some crazy news. Look at our market. We see Bitcoin sliding down a little bit at about the 10,682 mark. Not too bad. Still believe we're only a few weeks away from actually getting out of this bear market. And when we get into the month of September, get rid of September long weekend, give people one paycheck to, people are going to be back at work and they're finally going to have some money in their pocket rather than spending it for the last 3 months. And we should see the market really start to turn around in early to mid-September. So that's all we got for you guys. Like, love, sub, share, spread the good news. Let's get some new people on this channel. And that's all I got for you guys today. This is 88 showing you how to take a bite out of the cryptocurrency market. Take care, y'all.